I'm Steve Underhart, Research Director with Interactive Media Strategies, welcoming you to this edition of the IVT Video Case Study series. This time, we're profiling Japanese manufacturing giant NEC, one of the world's leading makers of electronics products. And we're going to Irving, Texas, to visit with an NEC unit called NEC Unified, which is responsible for managing and distributing NEC Enterprise Class telecommunications gear sold in the North American market. It's a substantial operation managing a dealer network of almost 500 companies that participate in selling NEC products across the United States. Over the years, NEC has been aggressive in embracing web-based technology to improve the way it communicates with that dealer network. By 2000, the company was experimenting with the use of webcasting and steadily grew its use of the technology through 2005 when it enhanced its webcasting capability by licensing IVT's media platform software. Now the company produces 75 webcasts on an annual basis, and most of those are designed primarily to educate the dealer network. Brian Williams, who manages the web multimedia production process at NEC Unified, describes how important training is to the company's day-to-day operation.
Here at NEC, dealers actually have to have trained, certified personnel before they can sell certain products. There are certain product lines that they have to be certified on. So when a new product rolls out, everyone has to watch it. We've basically done several things. We've flown them in. We've flown dealers in and their staff and had them come to meetings locally, and we put on big production, and everybody, wines and dines, and then they go home and they forget everything. Or they go out to them, city by city, state by state, beating the pavement, sending 4 and 5 guys to the West Coast and 4 or 5 guys to the East Coast, and then a couple guys to the Midwest, try and hit as many people in as many populated areas as possible.
But now Williams and NEC recognize that webcasting provides an efficient, effective way for supplying on-demand, relevant training content to a far-flung dealer network.
With one simple email, we can tell a whole dealer channel, the West, the Midwest, and the East Coast in a single day that product education is available and ready. You just come to it whenever you want to, whereas before it was kind of like, okay, well, product education will be available in the upcoming weeks in your area, and we will be rolling it out. Can you please pick a week that is good for you? That takes time and a lot more effort.
And while NEC recognizes these outward-bound benefits of using webcasting, they also recognize that justifying its costs internally is a piece of cake.
It's been very easy. I can actually just point back to travel expenses, and I win the battle every time. All I have to do is say, okay, you show me 3 salespeople, show me how many people they hit over a 30-day period, and show me their travel expenses, their per diem, and let me know exactly how many people that they spoke to, and then I will show you how many people viewed the same presentation on the same material, video on demand, and we win hands down.
The NEC finds that the savings extends far beyond just the outreach program, but also extends into the production costs that are saved through the use of the media platform technology.
For the most part, what we've seen is that in using the IVT product, we've found that manpower-wise, what a job used to be for 2 or 3 people is now down to 1 person, and now we can free the other two or three people to do post-editing and do some other things to kind of make the presentation itself a little bit more engaging. So we've kind of been able to rearrange some of the people that we were using. We take that human capital and use it to be a little bit more expansive, and that's what has been the most lucrative thing for us. Outside of there was some financial gains for us as well.
Beyond dollars and cents, Williams sees IVT's media platform as a valuable tool for simplifying the publishing process.
The wizards were very intuitive and very friendly as far as being able to build out presentations, whereas with other, there's other product tools out there that are less intuitive, and I'll just put it that way. From a managerial perspective, I can go in, I can assign a person a user role within the application suite. So they can come in and they're allowed X amount of duties, and I will have already created some pre-made, templates for the individual. So that part is taken care of. All they have to do now is go and cut the video and bring it into the solution, or they can actually cut the video, synchronize in real time, which saves us in production time.
Indeed, the webcast publishing process has become so easy for Williams that he has begun encouraging and promoting the use of the technology for internal communications applications such as executive presentations.
We weren't really doing corporate communications before, and we saw that we had the ability to do that with this platform. The other platform, we couldn't. I didn't feel comfortable using it because that was the other issue, was that it wasn't as reliable as I found IVT to be. Now, IVT, we didn't exactly know that we were going to roll out into corporate communications immediately, but when I saw how well it was working and how reliable it was, I was willing to call in executive management and say, hey, do you want to record, some type of presentation, because this platform is stable, and and I can get them in and out of here in 30 minutes. That's a big deal with those guys because they have a short amount of time and they need the most bang for their buck. So if I can get them in and out in 30 minutes and they're on to their next project, it's all the better for everyone. I received more emails about how happy they were with the new platform and how the ease of use from their side, which unfortunately I hadn't really thought of, but I did think of in looking for a solution, but hadn't really thought about it once I was rolling it out, because I was thinking of how happy I was as far as developing the programs. But on their side, they were extremely happy with the new interface, how easy it was to use, how it loaded up, how it didn't cause any problems with the OS, and they weren't having any problems with their browser. That was a big key factor.
And while Williams recognizes the ease of use aspects of Media Platform, as a power user, he appreciates the options that the technology gives him in the publishing process.
There's about 7 different ways to skin a cat in Media Platform, and that's what I like. I like having options. So there are a lot of options to do a lot of different things, and I can use different file formats. I'm able to bring in different types of media. So for me, it's all about the options process and the usability of the product.
And one of the strongest suits of the technology being used by Williams is its ability to keep detailed, accurate measurements of the level of webcasting activity being seen at NEC.
Statistics are amazing to me because, when you go back and you look and you kind of look at, okay, well, it's easy to say, okay, well, the person watched for 10 minutes. But with this particular solution, I can say that a person actually stayed on a slide for X amount of time. They clicked through only 14 out of 25 slides in a solution in a particular program. That to me gives me a real idea of who's viewing and who's just running through the presentation. I've seen some where people just let it play, and they don't think that I know that they just let it play, because they never clicked on anything, and that is a real measurement of, hey, how effective is this? If I've got a presentation that sits out there and people just hit play and they never interact with it, then I know that obviously either A, it's boring, or B, they know the material and we don't need that program out there. We can move on to something else. The statistics give me, and as well as management, an idea of what's working and what's not.
The ubiquitous nature of Media Platform availability meshes well with the changing nature of business at NEC, where both customers and dealers are expecting support to extend beyond the 9-to-5 workday.
NEC is always open, no matter what. We may not physically be in this building, and we may not be answering the telephones right away, in those off hours, but you can probably still get 90% of your questions answered by some type of webcast out there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is heaven sent for those that are up at 2 in the morning trying to figure out, well, how do I install this thing? Or wait a minute, I got this presentation in the morning and I don't remember how many voicemail systems I need to have in order to meet this many people. So that in itself, I think, is the biggest benefit, is that webcasting allows NEC to be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That's all the time we have for today's case study. Our thanks goes out to Brian Williams at NEC for sharing his story with us. If you have any questions on the presentation today, please don't hesitate to contact me or an IVT sales representative at the email addresses on the screen. Thanks a lot.